Welcome to the show that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to. The heliosblog. Today, we have this girl here who refuses to compete and then wonders why she's getting passed over. Some things never change.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Stating that we are kind of at the bottom and we're not like the first selection. When I walk in, we're not the first.
You're not the first selection of whom?
I would say of black men. I would say of not of all men, but I mostly focus on black men. That's who I prefer. But a lot of
black men marry black women at an 86% rate. What are you talking about?
You do have a point there, but I'll just say, yes, they do marry them, but as far as like desires or preferences, as they would like to say, a lot of them like our look or like our charisma.
What? You're just overweight.
But when it comes to our attitudes or just the way that we communicate and work with them.
So when you say somebody walk in the room, how can they tell that about you?
Well, when I say like walk in the room, I mean like when we walk in the room, men are coming up to us first, if that makes sense.
Who are they coming up to first?
I'll say
actually
most of the
attractive
time
women.
It's like Mexican, Latina girls or Caucasian women.
And I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question. Are these women more physically fit than the women you're talking about?
She doesn't get it. Really
In
doesn't.
some cases.
Don't give me the special
cases.
snowflake answer. I hate when women do this shit. Well, it all depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Look, men are visual. You cannot tell me that black men walk into a room where all things being equal, all the women in there are 5'4", dress size 4, and they just go to the white women and Latinas.
No.
That's not even how we're built.
Not even close. That's
Are the women you're talking about that are getting passed over physically fit? 5'4", 120 pounds, dress size 4. Yes, no.
No.
There you go. That's why you're getting passed over. Because 80% of you are overweight. But you put it off on race. And that's a cop-out.
I wasn't saying like...
The pause tells everything. They don't want to hear the accountability portion of it, right? They don't want to hear the thing that they should actually know is reality. No. They just want to, they want a fad influencer to talk to them and therapize them instead of doing what they need to do to be successful.
When I gave you 86% of black men marry black women at an 86% rate, you still found a way to make your argument.
I was talking about communication and like how
it has to be an approach.
Yes, it's all about communication, nothing about weight.
For communication.
True.
You said that they're not even approaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can you communicate if there's not an approach? You can't.
Freaking disaster.
So if a black woman in your circumstance that you're talking about gets approached, then the issue becomes what?
Well, I'll say with my experiences, a lot of men my age aren't really looking to settle down or be
with obese women. Yes,
serious. They're kind of wanting to play the field.
Indeed.
So I feel like that's where.
But you said these men are still approaching white women and Latinas.
They are. and they go and they settle and
They
have a
settle?
family.
They do what? They settle.
Not settle, like settle down. You know what I'm saying? Like get married.
Man, okay.
So if you want to get married, why don't you give the guys what they want? The man that you want, give him what he wants, and see how that goes.
Okay, what you just said makes no. Okay, man, what you just said makes no sense. I said after they approach, and then what? You said, well, most men my age aren't looking to settle down; they're playing the field. Then I said, well, what you just said is those men are approaching white women and Latinas. Yes, they are. And then what? And then they get them and they settle down with them, meaning that a black woman could have been settled down with two. It's not the youth, it's not their age. See, what black women never want to deal with is the fact of the matter is your fitness and your attitude are your biggest problems.
Indeed.
If you would be as fit as your competition and as friendly, cooperative, and submissive as your competition, you would win the majority of your men like any other race of women do and have done throughout history.
But that's what I was referring to with the cooperation and the communicating. That's where it goes wrong.
Yeah, so she says that she's submissive, and yet she's being argumentative despite having a soft voice, and she's also overweight. So I don't know what to tell you.
But it goes wrong from whose standpoint, the men or the women?
I could say both.
No, you can't say both because you just said these men go off and settle down with white women. See, the more y'all do this bullshit, both. It's always both. Why can't you ladies just hold yourselves strictly accountable? Because you're losing to other women. The higher up your men go, especially your generation, more and more guys are saying they're not even starting to deal with women, black women, because of your attitudes. You know this.
That's what I was saying with the community.
Well, then you have to fix it. Because if they're not dealing with you, it's not as though they're not dealing with any woman. So let me ask you a question. Are you saying that the men in your generation are choosing to have no woman, or are they dealing with women other than black women?
They're dealing with women other than black women.
Then
See?
right there tells you, there shows you the problem.
Yup.
They're dealing with women. If you had said they're choosing to not deal with any women, then you could have made the argument. But now if they're dealing with women other than black women, why not understand why? Like I said, number one, are they as fit as your competition? You said no. 80% are overweight and 80% of that number are obese. You've heard black men talk about the attitude. You've been on this channel listening.
Yeah, if you listen to Kevin Samuels for any period of time, you know the education level and the attitude level is insanely low.
To women who don't even want to smile. And when I start asking these specific questions, you want to go down to both. This is what happens to matriarchy, where you can't hold women accountable. They never want to get down to the point. The problem is on your side. The men are still getting with women, yes or no?
Yes, of course.
The young men are still getting with women, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So they're going into the store to buy something. They're walking out with a Becky or a Marisol, and they could have had a Kenya. So it ain't like they walked into the store without money and not intending to buy. You got to make your product better.
But that's what I was saying in the beginning. It comes down to the communication and us cooperating with each other.
No. It comes to you cooperating with us.
Indeed.
See, that's why you keep going.
Yeah,
See,
like men need to compromise. They've already compromised. They compromised all they could. The girls became entitled and a disaster, so they left. And they went to girls that aren't doing that.
you keep talking like we're part.
Have one-sided cooperation.
Well, you don't have a choice. See, you're losing to Marisol, Mylene. You're losing to Becky, Marisol, and Mylene. See, you keep saying cooperate with us. Why does he have to cooperate with us when he's going to go over to Marisol and she's willing to cooperate with him? He's going to go to the situation that is going to cooperate with him, then he has to cooperate with you.
But if you're cooperating, isn't that a team effort? So doesn't it take two?
Well, if that's the case, you shouldn't be losing. If what you're saying is the case, all things being equal, you should not be losing to non-black women.
But when I speak with most Black men, they don't even want to cooperate with us. They already have it in their mind that,
where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
I'm not sure where it really.
It just popped in their head. It just came from nowhere. One day they just
nowhere.
woke up and said, "This is what it is." No, because they've grown up. No, I'm going to tell you where it came from. This is very conversations where it came from. The inability for you guys to be honest. These guys are your brothers, your cousins, your neighbors. They went to high school with you. They went to junior high with you. They went to elementary with you. They went to pre-K with you. Their mothers are you. Black men know Black women intimately well because Black women run everything in the Black community. So if Black men in your generation are choosing to not even deal with them, it's not because it doesn't come from somewhere. And you're talking about we need to cooperate with each other. Ma'am, if you're on the losing end of a relationship situation, if you don't get Black men, what is your option? White men, Hispanic men, Asian men, Middle Eastern men, they are not running over to the hood or the neighborhood to scoop up Black women in large numbers.
So the answer,
is it starting to sink in yet?
The answer is what is already being seen, which is marriage at basically a zero rate. That's what's being seen. Single mothers abound. That's what's being seen. Nothing more, nothing less.
I said in the beginning that it already sunk in with me, and I'm realizing that we just don't cooperate. I don't know.
Well, when you said we don't cooperate, you said we don't cooperate with each other.
Yes, we do not cooperate with each other.
And that's the point. And see, the point is not we don't cooperate with each other. Black women don't cooperate with Black men. You must cooperate with us first. This is about order.
Plenty of Black women that would not mind cooperating with a Black man or communicating with a Black man. It has to be a two-way street. It can't be just receptive on.
Okay.
Yeah, the Black women are choosing the 1%, the top 1%, and then asking him to compromise. The average Black man.
I don't think you're see, again, right there, you ran it into a ditch. I know plenty of Black women who would not mind while your non-Black competition is ecstatic too. They're wanting to. They're leaving their racial preference of men to come over to talk to Black men. They're choosing to leave their neighborhoods and come get with Jamal. While Jamal's in your neighborhood and you're talking about, I wouldn't mind. So Jamal has to ask himself, which woman is more ecstatic, exuberant, and excited about cooperating with me? Kenya or Becky? And by the words out of your own mouth, other women are more because you wouldn't mind cooperating with them.
It's disrespectful.
That means I'll do it if I have to. I'll do it. It's okay. I won't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh, I don't mind. You want to go to Hawaii? I don't mind. Hey, you want to go to the movies? Oh my God, I would love to go to the movies. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Oh my God, thank you for buying tickets. You notice how different that is? Hello?
Are you stating that is?
Do you notice how different those two things are?
Yes, I noticed the difference in tone and effort.
Black women are the first one.
Excitement. I see it. I hear it. But what I'm saying is
shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be
when
right.
When you say we have to be...
She doesn't get it. She's literally demonstrating exactly what Kevin's... My Lord, you're slow. My Lord, you're slow.
Ecstatic, or we have to be the ones who want to cooperate or to make it work. How can you cooperate or make it work with somebody who already has it in their mind that this is not going to work out anyway? So let me just get what I want, and move on.
Sounds like you got a problem. Sounds like you got a lot of work to do. Sounds like you got a lot of. If you're trying to sell something to a market and they already have it in their mind that your product is bad, it's not gonna give me what I want. It's not gonna give me the outcome. And either you sell your product or you go bankrupt and don't eat. What do you have to do?
You better learn what you're supposed to do.
What do you have to do? Don't ask me a question. What do you have to do?
Figure it out.
You have to find out what you need to do to sell your product.
Ding, ding, fucking ding. Black women have to figure out why black men are not buying them. And then you have to give black men what they want. Up front. You can't, I don't mind. You got to be willing.
And not just that, it has to be not just for a millionaire.
To outcompete Becky Marisol and Mylene. Because the problem that black women are having with black men is one that black women have earned.
Indeed.
Like it or not, young lady, that's the way it is. And here are your options. If you don't want to earn it, then I'd like to see you go get it with Brad, Ahmed, Jose, or Mohammed.
Good
they
luck.
Ain't putting up with it.
Nope. Good freaking luck.
We all you got. That's why I said you're speaking like, well, we got to do it with each other. No, we don't have to do it with each other. Either you get on our program.
They'll go with a Filipino.
Or you buy a dog and die alone. But I don't think you like it. I don't think you guys like it. And I don't think they like it in that starker term, guys. You see how it goes down? It's like, well, still trying to make it to where, well, it's not fair. Go ahead and say it's not fair. It's not fair. Go ahead and say it's not fair. It's not right. It shouldn't have to be. How tall are you?
Uh-oh.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
It's happening.
Dress size?
160, 165.
Dress size?
Dress size? 8 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
And you were saying it shouldn't be what?
I was just saying it's gonna. I don't understand how we can make some cooperate or make something work with somebody who does not have interest in doing that.
They don't have interest. You act like, okay, you make them interested. That's all you got, ma'am. I don't know how you do it. You get off your lazy ass and you try. You fail, you try better. That's how you do it.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
That's right.
Have you ever had to go after something that wasn't given to you? This is entitlement. You're not entitled to a black man. We don't belong to you. Because black women have a
She doesn't understand that, though. You're acting as though they do belong to you.
Longest acted like you didn't belong to black men. So now you're free. It's a free market economy. So now you have to sell yourself. You got to compete. And if you don't compete, if you don't
out-competed.
And if the black man is in your neighborhood and you can't convince the black man in your neighborhood that you're the best pick, you think you're going to go to the next suburb or the next group of men and convince them that you're the best pick? You think those women are going to let you take their men?
Yeah, no.
I just don't. How do black women act like we don't belong to black men?
God damn. Did you not answer the question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you can't get the men in your neighborhood, what are you going to get? You're going to go to the other groups, other races' neighborhoods. You still got to convince those men and you got to compete with those women. I want everyone to understand this is how lazy and entitled the modern black woman's attitude has become to black men. She can't even understand what I'm saying. I understand that she's really confused because it's like, well, I don't get it because you think it should be easy.
That's tough.
If every black man today who was marrying age married every black woman in this country, there would still be 2 million more black women left. Listen and listen well. Marriage is not a guarantee. It is blood sport. It is competition. Every woman is not going to win, and you are going to have to compete All spirit in love and war. So what do black women who want to have a husband, especially if they want a black man, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to do what? Figure it out.
Uh-oh. It's funny because she hears it, but she doesn't really hear it. Like, are you noticing that?
People in the comment section are saying the same. Lazy. I just don't get it. I don't.
But she
They really
doesn't
want.
really
I
hear
just don't
it.
understand how is that lazy if we're just stating that it's hard for us to try with someone who literally doesn't even want to give us a chance.
It's hard. Okay, it's hard for you to try. So what? It's hard for you to try. It's hard for you to try. It should be harder for you to live alone and die by yourself. So what? It's hard for you to try. Then what? Then what? It's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Ma'am, it's hard for you to try. Do you have a college degree?
No.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Life is hard. Anything worth having in this life is worth working for.
Indeed.
You sound lazy. It's hard. So what? If a man had to work for a worthwhile woman, you women would say a woman like her is worth working for. True or false?
True.
Yes.
Thank you.
But I never said black men weren't working for. I'm saying black men aren't.
Go back and look at the comment section, man. You don't get it. I get it. You don't get it. And this is how far they're falling, guys. She really doesn't get it. She really doesn't. And I don't blame you for not getting it.
Saying, but what I'm saying to you is, how can we try and put forth this effort to somebody who's not even receptive?
First of all, it's a disingenuous ass question. You assume that 100% of black men are not there. I'll give it to you this way. You know how you do it? Because I'm a salesperson. Your job as a salesperson starts when somebody says no. If everybody bought that you asked, there would be no need for you. That means you have to deal with rejection. That means you're saying that how do we do this to a group of men who don't want it? You go ask them what they want. You knock on the door and say, how can I get you to be my boyfriend? What do you need for me to become your wife? You got to actually go to the consumer. I know it's crazy. You got to go to the person who you want to purchase your product and give them what they want. I know it's wild.
Crazy that she doesn't get it.
How you saving any money? You're living paycheck to paycheck right now. Right?
Well, honestly, no. But
okay.
That's only
Are you paying? Do you live with somebody? Or you have your own place?
I have my own place.
How much is your rent?
My rent is like $750.
How much?
$750.
Say again.
$750.
$750 against a $2,000 a month income. These numbers don't add up, ma'am.
Uh-oh.
You are living paycheck to paycheck. Listen, young lady, you're living paycheck to paycheck. You make $2,000 a month and you got a $750 rent. You're not saving anything. Your plan at best would be, I'm going to hold on until I could find a man who will pay my debts. Because you're not going to be able to afford to pay them with your income. And see, this is why women are mad at high-value men, because they won't take this. A high-value man will come look at your situation and say, well, wait a minute. You weigh as much as a man. You got $100,000 in debt. You have low income skills. You don't want to have to really work. So it's all on me. Now, okay, let's say I decide to take that. What am I going to get? You're going to get a feminine woman. There are feminine women everywhere, ma'am, who are in great shape and lower debt. That's why I try to let a lot of black women realize you're upset with men that won't take this, and it's because you haven't even sat down and sharpened your own pencil and put pen to paper. It's all, well, fantasy. I will I don't want to just quit work. I want to actually save money. So that means he has to pay the bills. You worked yourself into a pretty bad position.
I agree.
Well, and the way out of it is to stop digging and stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you were a dress size 4 when you know you were in a 10 or a 10 plus. Get a second or you need a better job. I don't know what job you're doing, but if it's paying you $2,000 a month, that's $12 an hour. Ma'am, you can make more money at Circle K, Quick Trip, or Walmart. And $100,000 in debt.
How the hell did that happen?
This is why women need men, because you shouldn't have even been allowed to get in this position.
Right.
I mean, how long ago did your father pass?
He passed away when I was 17.
Indeed.
So your mother allowed, no disrespect to your mother, but she allowed you to get into this debt for a useless degree. So when women...
Freaking nightmare. Alright. Let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all for notifications, drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian, Tom, and Bobby, Dylan, Russell, Pros, Brian, Andrew, and Alan. Shout outs to you. Most recent purchase of Strategist Guide to Seduction. Thank you. Go buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. You want early access to my content? That's great. Just go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. And if you want me to give you good advice, like Kevin, well, just drop me an email. It's at theheliosblog@gmail.com. I'll slot you right into some coaching. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. Really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.